Hey there. I hope you're well. I'm just finishing getting Instagram set up. And then we're going to go live. There we go. Okay, great. We're good. We're live on Facebook and we're live on Instagram. I hope you all are well. Odessa here, womb wellness coach, and I wanted to talk to you today about self-care and that level of investment. Everything I talk about is self-care, womb health, wellness, everything. But specifically, today's topic is about: are you going to invest in your health, or will you continue to pray about it? Right? And so yeah, this is where we are today. Do you invest in your health? That's really how the whole conversation begins. A little bit about me and my vision. I just want to kind of bring some of this to you. When I began studying this work, when I started, leaning towards medicine and natural medicine, and I started investing in classes and programs and teachers and equipment, everyone around me was like, why are you doing this? Why are you paying so much money? I wouldn't do this. I wouldn't invest these, my well-earned funds into this. And so I recognized that what I'm doing, what I'm pursuing is not and was not a priority for those people around me. But for me, it was fulfilling a need, fulfilling a desire, fulfilling an insatiable appetite for learning that I have been on. And so I went for what I wanted, right? I started off with classes in schools. It started off with private coaching on the side. I started going into high ticket private coaching. I started going into high ticket group coaching, just because the level of attention that I am looking for, the level of forward movement, of evolution that I'm looking for. I personally believe that or I prefer to work one-to-one with my coaches. I don't mind finding the money and investing in them and having those conversations, because I don't want to have to sometimes, have the conversations in front of people or go and figure it out, like especially like purchasing programs and figuring them out and then not having the person around to ask the question. I think I've done enough of that where I know what works for me. And so investing in what I want really made a huge difference on my journey and in how I execute my work towards myself and how I work with my clients, right? I know what it is to have skin in the game, right? When wanting to get results. And so I brought this up because, one question that kind of preempts this idea of investing is like, what kind of boundaries do you have, right? Like, do you make deposits, or debits out of your account, right? Are you constantly securing the people around you, securing your children, securing your partner, securing your parents, securing your siblings, securing the friends who frequent your home? Are you constantly securing your clients? You know what I mean? Your private practice, if you have one, your clinical practice, if you have one, constantly, making sure the people around you are filled up and are okay. But what about yourself, right? What about yourself? What about filling in your own account? What about making those deposits into your account so you are living with a surplus, right? What about making sure that your boundaries are full, they're shored up? What about making sure that you are okay moving forward. So whatever you're going to be giving from anyone is coming from overflow. Whatever you're going to be giving from anyone is coming from your own, self-actualized experience, right? And so when we're moving into new levels of awareness with ourselves, and when we make decisions, right, to move forward and create those boundaries, one way of doing that is by checking for your energy leakages. As I've mentioned, like, where are you giving to others? What is it that you have been doing that has been leaving you feeling tired and exhausted, right? Like, where are you going that you no longer need to go? What are you eating that you shouldn't be eating? Like this is like the, of health, right? Like, what are you eating that you shouldn't be eating? But also, I see my Instagram here is doing a thing. Okay, right? So yeah, what are you eating and what are you doing? And so, like, how are you assessing? How are you assessing your, like, where you are, what you need to do, and how you're going to pivot, right? Like, this needs to be considered, and the kinds of self-care that you're making the decision to invest in needs to be considered as well, because it's the truth that sometimes all you need to do is just boil that tea, or go to bed early, or turn off the lights, or shut off your phone. Sometimes that's what you need to do. But this level of self-care that I'm talking about now is a level of, okay, I am actively looking for results, I'm looking for options, I'm looking for choices. And so, do you have a budget? Right? Like, can you create a GoFundMe for yourself, right? So that you can pour into yourself to shore up those boundaries. And this can look like therapy. This can look like specific products that you would need, like an aerial yoga set to set up in your home. This could look like, sessions with different kinds of practitioners. I know a lot of people are doing NLP and hypnosis and childhood regressions and Reiki sessions, long distance healing. Like, there's so many different things that you can do, like, there are trips that you can invest in as well, right? For your self-care, and just experiences, right? Like, what kind of experiences are you investing in for yourself? Are you actively creating healthy environments and healthy experiences for you? Because we all know it's really easy to talk the talk, and we talk about the teas, the collection of teas that we have here. But in reality, you may not have, had any of your tea in about 5 to 6 weeks, but you're steady telling everyone that this is what you do. You know what I mean? And so, like, the next level of engagement is like, okay, well, are you actually making those, are you ready to invest in the help that you need? Or are you going to continue to pray about it? Are you going to continue to tell yourself, well, the opportunities will come to me when they're ready, and I'm just here happy, healthy, and whole, doing my thing. And, I don't really have to cross over the bridge. I can just tote the line, right? But this is what's hindering you. Give thanks for that, love. This is what's hindering you, right? Knowing that you're creating that experience for yourself, knowing that, like, between now and the end of the year, you can decide to put money to the side. You can decide to create that GoFundMe. You can create a list of things that you're actively going to research, even if you don't necessarily invest right now, but you're gathering up whatever it is, information wise, tools wise, to be able to get you to that next point, because it's really important. Like, we need to be purposefully creating healthy boundaries. And it isn't just about, like, what you've read and what you intuitively think. You need to be poured into. You also need to be poured into, right? And it's also important for us to start embracing luxury and comfort. Okay, I need to be we need to just put this out there, okay? Especially as women, especially as Black women, like, we are the queens of put the self to the side, do for others, find it on sale, get a cheaper version of it. No, we don't want this. It's time now for us to make the decisions to invest in ourselves, to make sure that we create those peaceful and luxurious experiences that really give us the level of nourishing and nurturing that we need to be able to bring out our feminine energy, right? Because the feminine energy comes out, give thanks for that love. The feminine energy comes out when it feels secure. If you're not secure, you cannot express yourself from your deepest, right, and most expansive place. You can express, but the level of expansion, of coherence, is jeopardized, right? So, the steps to implement for investing in yourself, I kind of ran through them, but I want to go over them again. The first thing is to create a GoFundMe account. Create a GoFund for yourself, right? Like, I need to experience specific things this year. I need to move the needle on my mental health. I need to move the needle on how I perceive the world around me. I need to move the needle on whatever it is and wherever it is that I am. So create a GoFundMe for your self-care, right? Do the research for therapies, classes, programs. Have conversation with the people around you and ask them, like, hey, especially people whose energy you're drawn to, women, men, people whose energy, really speaks to you and inspires you. Like, what are you doing? You just always look so good, or you're always happy, or you always seem to have really great food to eat. So what are you doing, for yourself? What have you done? What do you suggest that I can do, or directions that I can go for my own research, right? Like, this is important. You want to research because you want to next purposefully create and curate these healthy experiences. Okay, it's too easy to keep going back to what right? And if we really sit down and focus on the vibrations that we carry and the spaces that we occupy and the energy that comes with that, like, you're probably going to question why you keep going back to the same place and doing the same things, right? So you want to be purposefully creating and curating healthy environments, and you want to embrace luxury, comfort, and peace-filled experiences, right? You deserve it. You deserve it. When you're about to do something, when you're considering it and all of the doubts come into your mind, it's too much money, I can't do it, I don't have the time, what about, you know what? You deserve it, especially if you've been working hard, especially if you've been giving, especially if you've not taken time, especially if you're not feeling well, especially if you're, especially, like, you've got to do it. When I started doing it, it changed the game. It changed how I experienced myself. It changed how I experienced the world and how I was dealing with what is perceived and experienced as trauma, or, challenges or obstacles in your life, right? So I'm just looking at my notes here. Some of the benefits that come from investing in yourself, right, is, first of all, you start conquering your fears. You start moving beyond your own blockages and your own doubts, right? When you start investing in yourself and you start finding coaches and teachers and mentors to work with, when you enter into curated environments, when you pay to play, pay to have different experiences, you end up receiving information that you may have never considered. So it informs you. it informs how you're going to move forward differently. Like you've gone to a weekend retreat, and by the end of the weekend your name has changed, how like your whole life trajectory has changed. You're gonna pack up your bags and move to the next place and start that business, right? Like there's something that gets turned on and unleashed, because there are things that you get introduced to, think potential that you touch, right? So things that you've never considered start to come to the surface. You're taught new approaches, right? Maybe you've been doing something one way and it's been working for you and getting results. But here comes another streamlined way for you to get results faster. You know what I mean? Or maybe you haven't gotten any results, or maybe you haven't even started and you're just looking at those around you who have been doing it on their own and they haven't gotten results. And so by you making that decision to invest in an experience, you get to glean that information from them, right? Whereas you would have had to go through that do-it-yourself learning curve. That incline has now been reduced, right? The time has been reduced because you're working with someone who has experienced and has gotten results from whatever it is that you're looking to do. And so there needs to be a transformation at the end of whatever you're investing in, right? Because if there's nothing that's coming from it, then there isn't a level of fulfillment. But what happens is you're looking for these positive results, right? These positive results in the changes that you're trying to make. And so by making yourself a priority, and by sussing out those people, those 5 other friends who are, paid friends, or people who you happen to meet or frequent, or even your close friends, but I meant more like experiences. This is going to give you the results that you're looking for, put you on that path. It's going to help you to move faster. It's going to open up your mind and your experience and just bring you to that next level, in a different way than how it would have gone if you did it on your own. And so, yeah, that's really what I wanted to come in and ask you today. Are you going to invest in the help that you need, or are you going to continue to pray about it? Because, prayer works, but prayer also comes with inspired action. And people tend to just kind of deal with the mustard seed faith by, just saying the words and hoping that their mantras and vibration will carry through and the universe will just, God or whomever you choose to spend your quiet meditative prayer time with, will answer you. But the reality, and this is coming from somebody who used to do this, you know what I mean? Honestly, it's like, I want these experiences and I want these things to come to me because I don't want this situation. I don't want to have these circumstances in my life anymore. But I'm not ready to invest. I'm not prepared to invest. No, this is too much money. I'm afraid I'm not going to get the money back. What if I don't get the experience I'm looking for? What if it's a flop? What if they're like all of these different things? But when you commit to that and you step out of your comfort zone, it's guaranteed that what comes at the end of that opens you up to a new level of experience. So that was it. I just wanted to hop on really quickly and invite you all to think about that and consider it. I see you. I see that you joined, and I'm giving you some love. If you are interested in joining a community of like-minded individuals who want to focus on womb health, womb healing for themselves, and to be able to impart this information on their community, please feel free to click on the link and join my Facebook group, Full Circle, where we go deeper into some of these principles. And y'all just be well. Take care wherever you are. Have a good morning, good evening, good night, and I'll see you again soon.